Hello, this is Riding with Rhi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm sharing my experience of having bought my first horse as an adult in Surrey alongside my London career. Today we're going to be having a little bit of a chilled barn vlog. I have a lesson where we focus on engaging Woody's right hind, and I show you some of the pre-ride stretches and yoga movements that I've been doing to help improve me in the schooling. Let's get straight into it. So I've just got to the yard. It is 10 to 10, my lesson's at 11, so let's go and say hi to Woody, and then there's a few things that I need to do before we actually ride today. Let's go. You will notice I have my yoga mat, which we will get into in due course. Hi Woodwood! Put the lights on. Hello! How are you doing? You good boy? He's very clean today. He's had his fly rug on for the last few days because it's been really bad for flies, so I think it's actually kept him very clean. Hello! Oh, hi! Hello! No trouble. You had a nice day? Are you sleepy? Oh no! You're a sleepy moose. Oh, words! You're a sleepy moose. Oh dear! Very sleepy. Good boy. Right, we'll groom Woody in a second, but first I want to go and get my numbness, so let me do that. So basically a few days ago I thought I would try my hand at hand washing my numbness because I had about 4 that needed washing, and I don't have a washing machine I can put them in, and it gets very expensive if you send them off to be cleaned every time because it's like £4.50 to get them cleaned around here, which is fine, but not if you're doing it regularly. So I did some research online and then I tried to wash them myself, and I actually did a little video with all the steps of how I did that, so I'll put that here so you can see, and then let's go and collect them and hopefully they will have dried. I put them on the fence line down here, so I'll play the video and then come back. This is my first attempt at hand washing my numbness. Get yourself a big box, get your washing powder, put it in and fill it with water. Give your numbness an initial spray to get what dirt you can off, put them in the box and then cover them with water. Here it is filling up. You want to make sure you get them under the water. You can see how dirty it is already, and it's literally been only 20 minutes. When it's soaked for an hour or more, scrub them with a body brush. You can see the grime comes off much easier now that it's been soaked, and then spray them off with a hose, preferably with a power washer if you have one, to get all of the soap and the suds out from under the numbner. Here's another example. You can see how dirty it is and how much the body brush gets the stuff off easily once it's been in the box. Okay, so here they are. They've all dried and they're actually looking pretty clean. They probably need a scrub with the old brush, but I'm really impressed. They were quite grim before. One of them's fallen down. I'm speaking quietly because my coach is schooling her horse in the other arena, so I don't want to spook him. But yeah, let's go and give these a scrub, and then we'll groom Woody and get him ready for the lesson. They smell quite clean. They smell a bit horsey, but actually no. They smell a bit horsey, but also they smell of laundry. I guess that means it's worked, right? Oh gosh, I'm gonna drop them. Chaos, absolute chaos. So someone told me that rubber curry combs are really good for getting like hair off numbness, and then I have a dandy brush for the rest of the dust, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, it does work. The rubber curry comb is really good at getting hair off. Let me see if I can show you actually. Try and show you with one hand. If you see that, it's hard to do with one hand, to be fair. I wonder if I can angle it. There you go, now I can do it. You can see the hair on the corner there. Just gets it that off so that it's clean. I feel like you can't see, but take my word for it. It does pick up the hair. I took a couple of pictures with another numner that had loads more hair on it to try and show you. So this is the before and this is the after when I'd brushed it off with a rubber curry comb and a dandy brush. So pretty impressive. So I'll keep going with the numners after my lesson because I realised we're getting closer to 10 o'clock and there's a few things I want to do first. So you might have heard me talk in a few recent videos about how I'm trying really hard to improve my position and I'm trying really hard to do pre-ride stretches and preparation before schooling sessions. So because I have loads of time today, I'm actually going to get my yoga mat out and show you a few of the pre-ride stretches that I found on the internet that really help me. Most of the ones that I do are focused on that feed bowl, are focused on stretching my hip flexors and stretching my spine and lengthening my spine and allowing my spine to have more mobility because those are the things that I need practicing. So I'm going to put my yoga mat down here. Woody always watches in the background because he's a massive lurker. So yeah, let me show you. So first and foremost, a little disclaimer, I am certainly not a yoga professional. I am actually quite beginnery to yoga, so I am sure that some of the things I'm doing here are not going to be performed 100% correctly, but I hope that I can give you the language to look these things up online or make you feel inspired to go and check them out from professionals. So this movement is called cat-cow and it just opens up your spine and warms up your spine and allows you to be more mobile. I've actually tried doing a yoga routine before without doing cat-cow and found that my spine felt very blocked. So I think this is a really good first movement to start with. My coach walking past. She's used to my absolute nonsense by now. Thank you for that, Woody. This is downward dog and I do a single leg kind of stretch. So this stretches your calves and you just kind of go from one to the other and it helps stretch down the length of the back of your leg. Moving into a three-legged downward dog. So this movement opens up your hips. So you basically lift your leg up and bend your leg over like that on each side and you try and keep the weight even through both of your hands so it shouldn't shift over one side or the other. And here's the other side for you. And you'll probably find with all of these that you are less or more mobile on one side or the other. So from downward dog, moving into a cobra pose via the plank. I used to just do cobra pose from the floor, but somebody told me that you actually get a better stretch through your back if you do cobra pose from downward dog. So that is what this is. So you go from downward dog, you kind of go straight into a plank like that, and then you push yourself slowly to the floor. That was not a perfect execution, but also you get the idea. Down into child's pose, which again is for your back and trying to stretch your fingers forward. This is a really lovely stretch. It feels lovely and it really helps your back open up. And then if you add in this sideways stretch, you get a little bit more of the stretch in your lower back and your middle back, which is great because I find that's one area it's actually really hard to stretch. So I love this movement and you can do this on both sides. So from here, I'm just going back up into downward dog and then into a low lunge, which is going to help me open up my hips. I'm not very good at this, as you can see. It takes me a couple of steps to get my foot central. There are a couple of really important things to keep in mind with this particular movement. I think it's to do with the alignment of your knee and where your back foot is. But look it up online because I can't remember every single one and I don't want to give you the wrong advice. But it should be opening up your hips. And of course, with yoga, everything is just about moving with your body and doing what you can and what feels comfortable to you. And then finally, I'm just adding in this stretch, which is just an additional stretch for your back. And you might also feel it a little bit in your hamstrings. I then just grab my bands and do a couple of movements that are going to help activate the muscle on the outside of my hip, which I can't remember the name of, but I tend to have a little bit of like an underactive left leg and an overactive right leg. So this just helps to activate that muscle, similar to how people do glute exercises when they go to the gym to help wake up that muscle. This is essentially what that is doing. It's just so that you can feel that it's there. It's not actually building it or strengthening it. It's just a kind of warm-up exercise, but I found it quite useful. So that is my yoga routine complete with Woody watching in the background. I would be lying if I said that I did that every single day, and I certainly don't bring my yoga mat to the yard every time, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the types of things that I do in my riding week, and hopefully gives you the language to go and look them up online and try them out for yourself. So it's time to groom Woody. I've been watching a lot of Marie Kondo lately, who, if you're not familiar, is a Japanese tidying expert who talks about sparking joy. So like everything that you have should spark joy. And anyway, she's inspired me to change from my bucket to this little box. So I now keep my essential grooming tools that I use every day in this little box, and everything else stays in my big box so that I don't have to drag a bucket around every time that I groom Woody. So let's get him out and give him a brush. Hello, Woodwood. Would you like a brush? You're really strange. You are. You're a strange boy. Would you like a brush? There we go. It's hard to do with one hand, isn't it? There we are. Come on in. Brush, brush. Bits and bobs. Oh, look at this. Like a little sunspot. Isn't that nice? So you probably know the drill by now. I absolutely love grooming. I always start with a rubber curry comb, moving in circles to get the dirt from the under layers of his coat and lift up any loose dirt that is molting. And then I go over with a plastic curry comb, and then I go over with a dandy brush and then a body brush on his face. I do his tail, and then I pick out his hooves. Another livery actually makes a joke that when she comes down in the morning, she's like, "Are you done polishing Woody yet?" And I'm like, you know what? It kind of is like that, but I love it. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel good that he is comfortable and that his skin is healthy. And it's also a really nice opportunity for us to bond. You know, we're only 6 months in, we're still getting to know each other. So this is a really important part of our routine for me. So Woody looking quite shiny. And I just checked my watch and I actually have a bit of time, so I'm going to do his tail, which is really thick, and normally I just don't have time to go through it all in a week because it gets so clogged with like mud, and I just can't get it all out. But I have this detangler stuff, which is from Hind, I think. I got it in a gift box like ages and ages ago, and it's really good actually. So I use that in his tail because, thick and lovely as it is, it gets so tangled up with all the mud. So I'm going to go through that today, and then we'll be ready to ride, I think. There we are. This would usually take me forever. This stuff is so good, honestly. Love it when his tail's all clean and tidy. I literally haven't brushed it for like a week, so this is wonderful. So onto the lesson itself. You will notice in my warm-up that I have my feet out of my stirrups. This is something that I've been doing in my rides in the school for a few weeks now. I find that it helps me lengthen my leg and stretch my hip flexors, all tying back to that idea of having a better position. So I always start like this, and I give Woody a nice long rein as well so that he can relax, because we have a lot of hard work ahead of us in this session, and I want him to be able to really warm up as well. And during this time, as I'm walking around, I'm also discussing how the week has gone with my coach, how Woody's feeling, how I'm feeling, and any goals or things that I would like to work on in the session. So once we've warmed up in walk and established our goals for the session, we always warm up in the same way, which is to have a walk, trot and canter on each rein. And as I'm going round, I am actively thinking about our impulsion, our straightness, all the things on the German scales of training, which is something my coach uses as a kind of tool, a set of tools to think about how our horse is feeling that day. So as I'm doing that, she's also asking me to think about certain things. She's asking me to check in and see how Woody's feeling on each rein and pick out any things that might be feeling slightly stiffer, slightly more flexible, things like that as we go round. So getting into the real meat of the exercises, we're going to go and do a shallow loop with some changes of bend through the body to encourage Woody to bring his hind end underneath him. I'm going to stop talking so that you can hear my coach talk me through this exercise.
So make sure you really control him as you go back, that he's not allowed to just kind of go, oh, and got to that.
So I'm not sure how well you can hear her, so let me try and explain the exercise as we come round to do it on the long side again. So we're trotting into the corner and we are asking for left bend, left bend. As we come off the track, we're changing our diagonal and we're asking for right bend, and we're creating a shallow loop. As we hit the middle of that shallow loop, we're asking for right bend again, and then changing our diagonal again and asking for left bend at the end. So you're basically switching between right and left bend all the time. Here is that first exercise once more, coming towards the camera before we move on.
Good boy. That's much better. You had some time.
Yeah. I think I probably do. I didn't think about it, but now I am thinking I probably kept that bend quite small because I didn't want him to fall really far away. And it's like, you know, sometimes we overshoot corners on jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like that's... So next what we did after doing it on the other rein was, knowing that Woody finds it very, very easy to bend to the left, we asked him to do this exercise with our bend staying all the way to the right at all times around the loop. So we did this exercise a couple more times on each rein, and then to finish we went back to going large on a diamond shape, just so I could feel how much straighter Woody felt and how much more connected I felt to my aids. And it was really interesting to see just how much I was able to play on using different aids, different hand, matching different legs, and almost pushing the different buttons in parts of my body to help keep him straighter. And I was able to pick that up much quicker. So it was really amazing. I had a fantastic lesson. I thought that lesson went so well. I've just untacked Woody and now I'm just gonna brush off where the saddle went, good boy. And then wash off where he's a little bit sweaty so that he's comfortable. Good boy. Just do that. Yeah. And then he's done for the day and he'll be going out. He's still going out at night. I'm sure that will change soon as we come out of summer. But for now he's going out at about 3 p.m. and then he's out all night until about 6:30, 7. And I'll just give his face a quick brush, which I can't do with my GoPro. Hello. 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 Are you a good boy in today's lesson? You are. And then he's done. Good boy. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, leave me any questions or comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. We will see you next week. We post videos every Friday at 4 p.m. BST. Good boy.